Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, September 6th. We're certainly pleased to have everyone here in attendance and want to welcome all the viewers on Channel 16 as well. We'd like to start today's City Council meeting with a roll call of the City Councilors of this great town. Roll call, please.
Council members Anderson.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Entenmann.
Here.
Erpenbach. Here. Jameson.
Here.
Karski.
Here.
Rolfing.
Yeah, here.
Aguilar. Here.
Very good. Thanks so much, City Councilors, for being here again tonight. I'd like to continue on with our invocation. We are so blessed to have Pastor Eric McCandless of the Empire Baptist Temple Church here in Sioux Falls to give our invocation. We'd ask you to stand for the invocation, then stay standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor Eric.
Thank you. Let's have a word of prayer. Our Father, we thank you so much for the gift that you gave us, the gift of freedom. I pray that you would put your hand of blessing on each one of our elected officials here tonight who have dedicated themselves to preserving that freedom, to giving that to the next generation, whether they be our children or our grandchildren. Father, I pray that even the seemingly insignificant decisions that we make in the course of a meeting like tonight, or they might have long-lasting ramifications of giving that heritage for generations to come. You've given us a great place to live and to grow up. May we have the courage and the tenacity to give that to those who follow behind us. We thank you, Lord, for all that you have done. I pray that we would honor you in this place tonight in a special way. In Jesus' name I ask this. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and again, welcome to tonight's meeting. So pleased to have all of you here. We do want to start tonight with just a couple of proclamations. The first one is a proclamation where we have Sandy Parham, who is a suicide prevention specialist here in Sioux Falls, as well as Janet Kidams-Lally, who's the executive director of the Helpline Center here in Sioux Falls. If you folks would come forward, we'd certainly appreciate it. I'll read the first proclamation. Whereas in the United States, one person dies by suicide every 15 minutes, and it is estimated that 6 million people became survivors after the suicide of a loved one in the last 25 years. Whereas the most recent statistics show that in the year 2009, there were 120 deaths by suicide in South Dakota, and an estimated 3,200 persons who attempted suicide in 2009. Whereas suicide is the 9th leading cause of all deaths in the state of South Dakota, and the 2nd leading cause of death among people under the age of 34 in our state. Whereas 25 residents of Minnehaha County lost their lives to suicide in 2010, and an estimated 625 persons attempted suicide in Minnehaha County in 2010. Whereas the stigma associated with a mental illness discourages people at risk for suicide from seeking life-saving help and further traumatizes family members and friends who have lost a loved one to suicide. Whereas the Helpline Center is the only crisis line in South Dakota accredited by the American Association of Suicidology and is dedicated to reducing the frequency of suicide attempts and deaths and the pain of survivors affected by suicide of loved ones through their suicide prevention, intervention, and aftercare efforts. Whereas it has been acknowledged that suicide is a major health problem and support is needed for educational programs, research projects, and intervention services. Now, therefore, I, Mike Huther, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim September 4th through September 10th, 2011 as Suicide Prevention Week in Sioux Falls. Thank you. Next, Barbara Sampson. Is Barbara here? Barbara, welcome. Barbara is the president of the Sioux Falls Women's Alliance, and if there's some others, please come forward. Come on, folks. Come on forward. Come on. You sure? All right. Barbara, in a minute, would you introduce them real quick? We're not going to let them get away that easy.
Okay. Candy Hansen, Lovey Bliss, Bonnie Ulrich, and Liz Grave. And we have a 16 board membership, so we have good representation here.
Thank you. Thank you. The next proclamation, whereas 100 years ago, public and commercial buildings in Sioux Falls were built without women's restrooms, leaving women working or shopping in the business district with no place to turn when they needed privacy. And whereas in 1911, 30 community-minded women determined to change these conditions, formed the Sioux Falls Women's Alliance, collected $1 dues, rented rooms in the 300 block of South Phillips Avenue, and opened rest facilities for women. And whereas from these modest beginnings, Women's Alliance grew to a membership of more than 400, and united in a desire to help women in need, expanded its mission, renting space in a series of downtown locations so that it could provide sleeping rooms, a cafeteria, and free employment services for women and girls. And whereas in 1955, Women's Alliance bought and renovated the Fosdick residence at 9th Street and Spring Avenue, where it provided affordable housing for working women, students, and widows, and sheltered abandoned girls and runaways. And whereas Women's Alliance emerged as a leading benevolent institution in the city, became a founding organization of the community chest, now known as the United Way, and served as a refuge for the thousands of women and girls in need, regardless of race, religion, or ability to pay. Throughout the Depression, World War II, and the early 1970s. And whereas in 1977, when a fire destroyed the Women's Alliance home, its board of directors sold the site, invested its assets in an endowment, and since that time has used nearly $300,000 in distributions from that fund to enhance the spiritual, physical, social, and economic well-being of women and girls in the community. And whereas at 3 p.m. on September 10th, 2011, Sioux Falls Women's Alliance will commemorate its 100th year of service to women and girls with an ice cream social and the dedication of a bench at Lyon Park, 14th Street and South Phillips Avenue. Now, therefore, I, Mike Cuther, Mayor of the City of Sioux Falls, do hereby proclaim September 10th, 2011 as the official observance of the Sioux Falls Women's Alliance 100th year of service to women and girls in Sioux Falls. Congratulations.
I would like to invite everyone here, including the council members and the mayor and all of his visitors, to come to our ice cream social at 3 p.m. in Lyon Park on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your service. Thank you very much. We'll continue tonight's meeting with the consent agenda. Are there any changes to the consent agenda or any motions?
Move to approve. Second, Brown.
Councilor Edmonds made a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. It was seconded by Councilor Vernon Brown. Any comments? Very good. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Moving on to tonight's regular agenda. Any changes to the regular agenda or any motions?
Mr. Mayor, move approval. Urbanbach?
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Urbanbach's made a motion to approve tonight's regular agenda, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. Any changes or recommendations?
Mr. Mayor, I would move to amend the main motion and the regular agenda by deferring items 20 and 32 until Monday, September 19th, 2011 at 7 p.m.
Second, Aguilar.
There has been a motion to amend tonight's regular agenda by deferring items 20 and 32 until Monday, September 19th. It was made by Councilor Urbanbach, seconded by Councilor Aguilar. Any further discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Items 20 and 32 are deferred. Any further changes or motions? Councilor Intiman.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to amend the main motion and regular agenda by deferring item 18 until Monday, October 3rd.
Second, Anderson.
There's been a motion by Councilor Intiman to defer item 18 as well, and it was seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. Any discussion on that item? Very good. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is also passed 8-0. We will be deferring item 18 as well. Any other further motions on tonight's agenda? Very good. Could we have a vote on the amended main motion?
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0 as well. Folks, we'd like to again welcome you here to tonight's meeting. It's been a while since we've gathered, so it's great to have you here. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to the council? If so, just come forward. Just give us your name, please. If it is an item that is on something, on a topic that we're going to cover later on, we'd ask you to wait. But if not, just come on forward and express yourself as best you can. Thank you. Welcome. Sir, welcome. Your name, please.
William Hartman, Sioux Falls.
Welcome, William.
I'd like to talk about the pavilion. My friend Kermit Stagger said if you ever have any problems with the city, come to the city council meeting. So I'm here.
Great to have you here.
The cross-dressing at the pavilion last month, I don't think this is a healthy thing to do. It's not a healthy lifestyle. It promotes homosexuality, I feel. It causes AIDS. Homosexuality causes AIDS and other diseases, but no one speaks against it. The city subsidizes the pavilion. I think they should take away the subsidy if the pavilion insists on having promiscuous affairs. I think there should, I don't know how much oversight the city council has on the pavilion, but we don't want our tax dollars going to promote destructive behavior. Homosexual lifestyle belongs in the bedroom. It doesn't belong in the public arena. That's the way I feel.
Thank you, William. Welcome. Come forward, ma'am.
My name is Miriam Green. I live here in
Welcome.
Sioux Falls. I am submitting a change in the law for boats, RVs, and trailers, and this is for all residents. Two items. First, not blocking driveways and ends of the streets so that you're not able to turn and see where you're going and another car coming, especially on narrow streets. And also limiting how long a vehicle can stay in one place. For example, my neighbor has both a boat about 24 feet and an RV about 45 feet, and he parks his boat right opposite our driveway, which makes it very difficult to pull in and out. And also, his boat has been there months. And I went to the police department, and they said that the council is the only way that you can change the law. They said as long as you move your item once every 2 days, I think I read that in the letter, Well, so my neighbor moves it 2 feet, 2 inches, and he leaves it there. It's been there for months. And he does the same thing with the RV, and he parks it so close to the street. So I can't turn into my street. I'm the very next house and the street, so I have to go all the way around the block. Or I've asked them a few times not to park in front of the driveway because it's very hard to get out. But he doesn't do that. And he just moves it a few inches, and that's already moved. Now, several people in the neighborhood, I assume, have been calling the police department because he came to our house and wanted to know if we were the ones that did it. We said no, because we didn't. So other people, and let's see, right here. So I would like you to please change this law so that a person cannot just leave his boat or his RV sitting there forever. And especially in front of my driveway.
Ms. Green, can we ask, where do you live? Or what area of town do you live?
I live near Lincoln High School. I
Near
live on
Lincoln.
Blauvelt, and then Cardinal is sort of like a U shape. And so there is a very long, the house was just sold. So there's a very long area on these, in front of the house. I did ask them when they first moved in, I asked them if they'd please move their car, because I have a very long driveway, and I find it very difficult to pull out of this long driveway, and then to make sure that I don't hit the car, and I have a new car too, so I certainly don't want to hit it. But I noticed that that's what he does. He hooks it up, he moves it a couple of inches, he unhooks it, and there it is for another 3 weeks before he does it. He doesn't do it every 2 days. And when he has his RV, I tell you, it's about 45 feet, that when you come around the corner, you cannot see if another car is coming. So that, to me, is too dangerous, and I have to go all the way around the block. So I think really something should be done.
Mrs. Green, if you could just give us your name and your phone number. You've got it?
Yes.
Councilor Erpenbach is your city councilor. She'll have a great time with this one. And we'll certainly follow up with you on this topic and more.
Well, thank you, because I've lived there 21 years and I never had any trouble with anyone. And certainly if they had a visitor, I mean, it's not a written law, but it's sort of a law of being nice to your neighbor, is to not park in front of your driveway so you can't get in or out.
Being a good neighbor is one of the things that we're really focused on as a team, and we're looking forward to working with you.
Well, thank you, because I'm thinking maybe I'll have to move. I can't take it any longer.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
The point of order is that your neighbor is incorrect and that they really can't do what they're doing. And so Councilor Aguilar and I are sitting here saying, let's not have this over the airways that people can do that. We've spent a lot of time with the RV ordinance very recently, and we know that they can't leave them sitting there, and moving them a few inches is not acceptable.
It's not considered moving it, is it? I mean, he hooks it up, he moves it a few inches here, he unhooks his truck, he puts his blocks underneath the wheels, and there it sits in the same spots.
Right. None of us likes that, Mrs. Green, and we'll get it taken care of. We'll
Thank you
get
very much
staff
for
on it. Thank
listening.
you.
We don't want you to move from your house just because of a trailer.
Well, it's very dangerous.
Yes, I
And when
know.
you come in when you're coming either up, when you're coming north on Blauvelt, come up that hill, you can't tell if another car is coming because this RV is very wide and it's a little street. So, anyway, and I try my best. I try to be nice. And his son said to me, well, we can park our boat in our RV there because it belongs to the house, but he doesn't own the street. See, they didn't quite get that. So,
Ms. Gray,
anyway,
we look forward to working with you, and
Thank
we'll
you very
follow
much.
up on this right away.
I'll
I
fill
know
this.
Councilor Erpenbach, she won't let this die.
Okay, I'll give him my address. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to engage the City Council? Mr. Cole, welcome.
Good evening, Robert Colby, and small business person from Sioux Falls in my 40th year of doing business. I came to speak to the mayor and the council in regard to this ordinance that you recently passed that dealt with the pond, is commonly called the pawn ordinance that deals with the purchase of gold, silver, etc. I was absolutely amazed on Sunday when I opened up the paper, and here it says, Sioux Falls residents being paid on the spot as they take advantage of record high gold and silver prices. Hilton Hotel, starting today, going till Friday. They're buying gold, they're buying silver, they're buying precious metals, they're buying coins. Now, the question that I have is how can I operate that way, because I can't operate the way they are. They come from out of town and they can operate in this fashion. Now, the question I have is, do they take the names and addresses of all the people they buy material from? Do they hold their merchandise 14 days? How do you know? Does the city have a little storage area that you say, okay, we'll put it away, we'll hold it 14 days to see if it clears, and then at the end of that time, then you can come and pick it up? Because they are from Ohio Valley Refinery or some such. They're from out of town. The question I have is, how do I get a chance to operate in that fashion? What do I have to do? Would the police department please tell me? Because if that's the case, it's making your ordinance a sham. If someone can come in from outside and spend a week in our community, and I won't say that they're all nefarious, but a good share of them, well, they're paying $20 for silver dollars when the local coin and silver buyers are paying $30 and $35. And if I can't operate in the fashion that these people do, I'll tell you how I will operate. Although I don't do this very often, I would be called a sporadic, not sporadic, I would guess I would, once in a great while I have a chance to buy a gold pocket watch or maybe a gold wristwatch or something in that nature. I will say, I will buy this from you, but I'm going to take you out to lunch in Brandon. We're going to go out to tea for hamburgers. I'll go down to Worthing with you and we'll stop at the bar down there and then I'll buy it from you. Because the ordinance doesn't apply in any of those three places. Or I'll say, hey, I'll come out to your house and take a look at it, as long as you don't live in the city limits of Sioux Falls. Now, there is the letter of the law and there's the spirit of the law. And I think both of these are being circumvented. Or as they say in the country way, if it's sauce for the goose, it's sauce for the gander. How can I operate in this fashion? I think you have one pawn shop in town that has been an advocate for this particular ordinance. Where's their home office? Everybody else who has complained about it lives and works and has property here in Sioux Falls and makes their living in Sioux Falls. The others are from somewhere else. You know, I just want a little bit, fair is fair. And that's all that I would like to say about that. I think that this deserves a little more scrutiny. The reason that I would go to other people's houses out in the community is you can't be absolutely sure that if you take down the name and address and you send this to the, Leads Online, there's no oversight, I called in to get internet service with one of the providers, and they say, information you give us will be secure, it is not sold, it is not leased, it's all that sort of thing. You know, it's private, it's closed. And I have never heard the assurance from any of the police department that any of this stuff from Leads Online is held in the same fashion. It's a private enterprise doing this sort of thing. I mean, I value the people that I do business with. I always figured you earn more points by, they say you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. If you want to antagonize the people who you are asking to help you in law enforcement, this ordinance is antagonizing people. These people who do this business, and I'm not one of the biggies, I'm not even one of the smallies as far as that goes, When someone comes into a shop, and I've heard this from a number of the dealers in town, they may be meth heads, they call the police department, say they're in such and such a car with such and such a license, and they're in my parking lot right now. People have a chance to evaporate before the law enforcement shows up. If you want to have good relationships with these people who are doing this business, you have to be responsible to the people, or responsive to what they are trying to do to help the community. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Just let me know how I can operate as these people who are doing so out at the Hilton Hotel for this week. Thank you very much.
Ms. Colby, thank you. And I'll have Chief Barthel get in contact with you to try to explain the difference between that and what we...
And I will leave the advertisement over here with Councilman Jameson, and you can all take a look at it.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak with the City Council? Welcome.
Tim Stangus, Sioux Falls. 2 weeks was a long time. A lot of people have a lot of questions out there. It's hard to even speak for how many people want questions answered, but they just want to know what's behind the myth on the revenue that we're missing out on on the event center. I had one gal tell me that she brought her family to the Omaha Zoo. She said it was just like going to South Dakota. She said there were so many people at the Omaha Zoo. She said, why can't we invest $100 million in the zoo down here to make people stay in South Dakota or around Sioux Falls to go to a zoo? I went to the Knoxville Nationals. Who do you think won? Donnie Schatz, you're right. There were so many people from South Dakota there. Look at the revenue we lost. Do we need a racetrack? Probably a little bit far out. But people are just out here trying to figure out what revenues are we really losing just because we're not getting the entertainment that people are saying we are. But a lot of people are going outside of Sioux Falls to do other entertainment besides the races, besides going to the zoo, still flying out of Omaha, still flying out of Minneapolis. What have we gained? Have we gained anything? People ask me about this 20-minute video that we're putting together on this event center. Who's putting it together? How much is it costing the citizens of Sioux Falls? And the people that are going to put this on, whenever they put it on, is it free time or is it on my time that's putting this 20-minute deal together? A lot of people out there think that there's a lot of negative stuff out there. I had a gal approach me at Hy-Vee and asked me if I come into the city council meetings. I said yes. She asked me to say one thing. She was called on the telephone to ask if she was going to vote for this event center. And she said no, flat out no. And the person on the other side got mad at her. Now, if that's the way we're going to sell this event center, you ain't going to sell it at all. People are mad on how they're being treated, not only over the phone, but just by walking outside. If we're going to sell this, we got to sell it right. People ask me, I thought that it took 60% vote. This one's only going to take a 50% plus one. I told them to come in front of the city council and ask that question. I said, I can't answer that for you. I said, there's only one question behind it. And he got it, and he understands. But this is done wrong. And if that's all we're looking at is the entertainment we're losing across state line, I think we got to look at it all. And maybe we can become something.
Is there any further comment from anybody in the audience who'd like to speak to the city council? You're sure welcome to. Well, very good, very good. Well, then we'll continue on with the agenda. Item number 13.
New 2011-12 retail malt beverage license for Tokyo Sushi and Hibachi LLC, Tokyo Sushi and Hibachi, to be operated at 3202 East 10th Street. Full-service restaurant, cup not required, pending final inspections for health, fire, and building services. 14, new 2011 retail wine license for Tokyo Sushi and Hibachi LLC, Tokyo Sushi and Hibachi, to be operated at 3202 East 10th Street. Full-service restaurant, cup not required, pending final inspections per health, fire, and building services. 15, special one-day malt beverage and special one-day wine licenses for the Home Builders Association of Sioux Empire to be operated at Home Builders Association of the Sioux Empire, 6904 South Lindcrest Place, for the general membership meeting on September 29th, 2011. 16, special one-day malt beverage and special one-day wine licenses for Vera McKinnon Foundation to be operated at Perspective, 196 East 6th Street on October 21, 2011 for the Paint the Night Pink fundraiser. 17, special one-day malt beverage license for the Sioux Falls Jazz and Blues Society to be operated at the Sioux Falls Convention Center, 1211 Northwest Avenue, for the Expo for Her on October 14, 15, 2011.
Lori, welcome.
Thank you. Lori Hogstead with the City Attorney's Office here for items 13 through 17. As Jamie read, 13 and 14 are new beer and wine licenses. 15 through 17 are special one-day requests. I can certainly answer questions on any of these items.
Council, any questions or comments?
Move to approve. Brown.
Second, Intiman.
Councilor Brown, thank you. Councilor Brown has made a motion to approve items 13 through 17, seconded by Councilor Entman. Any further questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Council members Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Thank you, Lori. Item number 19.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at East 26th Street and South Canyon Avenue from the RS2 Residential District to the RC Recreation Conservation District, petition number 2011-0611, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Good evening. Jeffrey Schmidt, representing Planning and Zoning on items this evening. This is on the east side of town, on 26th and Canyon. They have some single-family zoning over there, but as they continue to address their drainage issues as part of their master plan, they're changing some of it to RC, Recreation Conservation for drainage.
This is a second reading. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Very good. Council, any questions or comments? Jeff?
Move to approve, Intiman.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Adams made a motion to approve item number 19, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. There is no further discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Council members Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 21.
An ordinance, for second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West Benson Road and North Marion Road from the RA1 Residential District and O Office District to the RS2 Residential and the RC Recreation Conservation District, petition number 2011-0710, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
This one's on the northwest part of town, Hazeltine subdivision, and they are doing some boundary changes again to try to meet some market demand that's out there right now. They're decreasing for their market their multifamily twin home townhomes and adding more to single family, and it was originally started back in 2007 on this development.
Thanks, Jeff. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Council, questions, comments?
Move to approval.
Second, Erpenbach.
Councilor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve, seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. If there is no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 22.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, rezoning property at West Madison Street and North Valley View Road from the RS2 Residential District to the RD Residential District, petition number 2011-0711, and amending the official zoning map of the City of Sioux Falls. Planning Commission recommends approval.
As Steve has circled on the aerial map, this project is well underway. It got started back in 2006. Their market has been more in the range of twin homes and townhomes and fourplexes. So they're rezoning some of their single-family RS2 to RD, which isn't the multifamily development, but still attached single-family units.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this side? Council? Yes, Councilor Anderson.
What's our plans for Valley View there? Is that going to continue to go north?
Not out of this subdivision. There's that drainage way to the north, so we're not crossing the drainage way, but we're going to put a pedestrian link in between this subdivision to the south and the land that is being developed to the north of the drainage way, but not a street.
Just wondering how that's going to affect the rest of the development to the north as they start building, more homes or start developing that north plotted area. If we don't have an arterial or...
We'll have the two arterial section line roads, we just won't have the major collector at the half mile.
Okay.
Because of the drainage way crossings. This area up in this north with Willow Creek and Cherry Creek up in this northwest part of town, we try to limit the number of drainage crossings that we have with roadways.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor, any further questions? Yes, Councilor Christian.
Yes, Jeff, did you hear any concerns from the existing people out there? It looks like there's residential homes along the street there. Are they occupied currently?
They're currently occupied. No, quite a few that live up there and live in that same market, so there's no concerns that have been raised to us.
Okay.
Move to approve Entenmann.
Second, Rolfing.
Second by Councilor Rolfing on item number 22. If there is no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 23.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a major amendment, petition number 2011-0713 to Chapter 15.45.070, Plan Development Districts at 1000 South Sycamore Avenue, amending the Celebrate Community Church Plan Development District sub-area regulations. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
This one is an interesting one. It got done back in 2004. A lot of us remember when it was Sioux Falls Christian High School and the school, and they closed it down. They opened up Celebrate Church. They opened up in their currently planned development the worship center, training center, counseling, daycare, fitness center, and office space. So there's multiple uses within this existing facility. What they're proposing right now is to add retail to what they currently have on campus.
Thank you, Jeff. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Sir, welcome.
Not so much to speak to it, but my name is Carmen Van Scoik, and I do represent Celebrate Community Church. So I'm here to answer any questions.
Any comments at all, or would you just prefer questions?
Simply, we do have a coffee shop in there, and that is what we are wanting to rezone. The coffee shop is only open during our service times at this time, and we would like to be open full-time and have this be an atmosphere where people from our church as well as our community can come and build relationships and drink good coffee and just enjoy meeting with other people and that sort of thing. So that's our desire with this.
So when you say full-time, what do you mean by that? What hours are you?
So open at 6 o'clock in the morning, and at this time we're looking at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, possibly some evening hours, but that's not determined yet.
And that's Monday through Sunday?
Monday through Friday, actually. And then we will continue to be open during our service times like we have been up to this point.
Yes, Councilor Anderson.
Where in the facility is the coffee shop going to be located? We've had some questions about traffic in that area, especially along 16th Street.
Okay.
So I guess I'd like to know where the coffee shop would be located, where's most of the traffic going to be coming in through?
Mm-hmm. It is located on the west side of the church, so traffic would be coming from Sycamore. Currently, there is a a drive-through there, and we are looking at actually moving the drive-through so that there can be some parking there off of Sycamore. And we don't anticipate there being an increase of traffic, maybe a little increase of traffic on the side streets, but most of the traffic would be coming from Sycamore.
So you're looking at putting a parking lot up front, maybe?
It's actually only some parking spaces, not actually a parking lot.
Okay.
Looking
Keep
at
the driveway and...
6 to 8 spaces, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Move to approve Entenmann.
Second Aguilar.
Councilor Evans made a motion to approve, second by Councilor Aguilar. Any further questions, comments? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That's passed 8-0.
Thank you.
Item 24.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, providing supplemental appropriations for CIP number 148014, right-of-way acquisition for public works, $5,012,075. Or no, I'm sorry, $512,075.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. This is the final step that would take reimbursement from the state of South Dakota for right-of-way acquisitions that we undertook for the Soberg overpass, which is down near I-29 and I-229.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Council.
Move approval Aguilar.
Second Rolfing.
Councilor Aguilar has made a motion to approve item 24, second by Councilor Rex Rolfing. Any further questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 25.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, approving the release of permanent 40-foot utility easement in Lot 1A in Block 5 of Grand Arbor Village, addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Lincoln County, South Dakota.
Chad Holt.
Thank you. Good evening. Chad Heavey with the Engineering Division of Public Works. This easement is north of 85th Street and east of Western Avenue. It was granted by plat in October of 2010. The utility locations in this area have been revised, and this easement is no longer needed.
Anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Very good. Council.
Move to approve Brown.
Second Entenmann.
Councilor Brown has made a motion to approve, second by Councilor Anderson. If there is no further discussion, roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 26.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, approving the release of permanent easements in Lot 2, Block 1, the Edges addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Track 1, except Lot H1, the Edges addition of the City of Sioux Falls, and Lot 1, except Lot H1, Block 6, Interstate Crossing Business Park addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Lincoln County, South Dakota.
This easement is just west of the future Solberg overpass. It was reserved when right-of-way was vacated in 2006. The utilities that were in this easement have been relocated to new private easements, and this easement is no longer needed.
Anyone like to speak to this item? Council.
Move approval Erpenbach.
Second Karski.
Councilor Brown has made a motion to approve, second by Councilor Karski. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 27.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, approving the release of permanent storm sewer and drainage easement in Tract A of Red Rock Park, second addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County, South Dakota.
This easement is on the east side of town, north of Arrowhead Parkway and west of Powder House Road.
It was granted by plat in July of 2004. During the reconstruction of Powder House Road, the city and the Department of Transportation constructed drainage facilities in the public right-of-way, and in this area, which contains the drainage easement, the easement is no longer needed.
Excuse myself.
Councilor Jr. is going to excuse himself on particular item 27. Audience attorney, would you like to speak to this item? Council, any thoughts or motions?
Move to approve, Brown.
Second, Jamison.
Council Brown's made a motion to approve this item, second by Councilor Jamison. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 7-0. Item 28.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, approving the release of a portion of permanent water and sanitary sewer easements in Lot 1, Friesian's addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County, South Dakota.
This easement is south of 12th Street and east of Valley View Road. It was granted by plat in October of 1998. What you see up there in the orange is the current easements that we have and will maintain, and the area in yellow is the easement to be released. The utilities that were in the easement in the yellow have been relocated to new private easements, and thus the easement in yellow is no longer needed.
Is there anyone in the audience that can speak to this item? Council, any thoughts? Yes, Councilor Jr.
Chad, the property that's in the yellow line there, who owns that property? Or where will that property go to?
I believe Warren Friesen owns the property, and then the agreement, the utilities that were relocated, it was a private agreement between the Friesen family, and I don't know if I have the other family. I thought Cindy was maybe here. Oh, it's the Lang Properties LLC is what I have. But those, they agreed mutually to relocate the easements, and now the utilities are private and shared by both of those parties.
Thank you.
You bet.
Council, any motions?
Move to approve, Jamison.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Jamison has made a motion to approve this item, second by Councilor Anderson Jr. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Item 29.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, authorizing the city to enter into an interest-free loan agreement with South Dakota Housing Development Authority for the purpose of rehabilitating rental housing properties within the core incentive area, up to $500,000.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Brent Tucker, Community Development. This does allow the city to take on a loan of up to $500,000 for the development of a rental rehab program. The loan funds will be coming from the South Dakota Housing Authority and be available for a period up to 20 years. We understand that as the city, we need to address the standard of quality and housing that's available in our core neighborhoods, and then we feel that this program will help us in addressing these housing needs.
Brent, thank you. This is a second reading. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak to this item? City Council, questions, comments?
Move to approve, Brown.
Second, Rolfing.
Councilor Brown's made a motion to approve item 29, seconded by Councilor Rolfing. Any further questions, comments? Very good. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar.
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 30.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending Article 3 of Chapter 8 of the revised ordinances of the city regarding the Orpheum Theater Advisory Board of Directors.
This advisory board of the mayor, they had a meeting of their board and recommended making these changes. They're changing their makeup from 7 to 9 members, and they've clarified who the appointments are for specifically.
Thank you, Jeff. Would anybody like to set a hearing and second reading from Monday, September 19th at 7 p.m. for item 30?
So moved, Aguilar.
Second, Erpenbach.
Councilor Aguilar has made that motion, seconded by Councilor Erpenbach. Any further questions or comments? A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Entman,
Yes.
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yeah.
Rolfing,
Yes.
Aguilar. Aguilar?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 31.
Public hearing for the public input for a resolution adopting the budget for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2012, and the 2012-2016 capital program.
This is an opportunity for anyone in the audience or anyone within the city of Sioux Falls to come speak to the council about the budget for the upcoming year and the capital program. We would ask you just come forward, speak for up to 5 minutes about any topic that you think is of interest of yours. Just come forward at this time. Welcome. Sir, if you could just state your name, please.
My name is Jared Smart with Jared Smart Construction.
Thank you, Jared.
Here on behalf of the Home Builders Association, I'm chairman of the Local Government Affairs and Developers Committee. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and councilors, for letting us speak. In the past few weeks, we've had the opportunity to have dialogue with both the mayor and city council members, as well as city staff, in regard to, in particular, the arterial street expansion budget, and which we appreciate that dialogue very much. It's great to have that. Our main concern is that in 2 years, our arterial street expansion budget has been cut about 81%. And that's alarming to us. Basically, we feel that needs to be, that budget needs to be restored. We're a little bit concerned in years to come about the predictability of that budget. As developers, and I more represent this committee as a builder, not necessarily as a developer, but to represent our committee. For a developer to try to put something together, a development plan together, and try to gain support of investors, bankers, and the like, we need to have some sort of predictability. And an 81% budget cut within 2 years, that's very difficult to gain any sort of support from a development group. And that's where I think it's difficult, and that's, I think, the biggest reason why we're concerned. We know that there was an emergency. We had streets inside the city limits that needed to be repaired. There was an emergency. We fully supported that, and I think it's great that we've been able to fix those. But it is also essential to development to expand arterial streets, and I'm not sure, if everybody understands, when we take a street and widen it from 3 lanes to 5, those additional 2 lanes are expanded with, arterial street expansion dollars. Those are not, so that is an example of arterial street expansion. It's not building, a road to nowhere, and that's not what we're looking for. Our association is not here because there's any one particular street that's not getting built or one specific project that we're interested in. We're here in support of the industry, and we just want to make sure that funding is there and is restored. And what we would really like to, we know Sioux Falls is growing, which is a great thing, and this is maybe a downtime in our economy. We understand building permits are down from what they were a couple of years ago, which it's the economy. Our sales tax revenue took a little bit of a hit too, so that's, that plays on both sides of the fence. We want to be poised for the growth. We know there's a backlog in arterial streets that have been expanded. There are some examples of that. Again, we've got a list of roads Chad Heavey had given us that are on the slate to be built, and we appreciate that. We do feel like I apologize if I'm overusing the word predictability, but do feel like we need some sort of predictability in that our budget is going to be coming back. We had put some information together in our association for where arterial streets were funded at, and the street budget was cut. In 2012 was originally supposed to be $6.5 million. was cut down to $1.2 million, which is a pretty significant hit. And that, we don't get back to that level all the way through 2016. We're projected to be at 5.4 million, so that's not even back to where we were supposed to be in 2012. In fact, it doesn't even get back to where we're supposed to be back in 2010. So that is a concern to us. As developers, we realized that there was a problem with the backlog of the streets and did agree to paying platting fees as we develop, which we know are down some as well. Again, economy driven. I mean, it's, things have been a little bit rough out there, but those will come back. We believe they'll come back. And we supported the leveling of the second penny sales tax. So we feel like we've got some skin in the game and have stepped forward and said, hey, we understand there's a problem, let's try to get these things funded. And now to have that funding cut on the other end hurts a little. And so that's why we are here to make a point. And then, so basically our recommendation is, we know it's probably a little late in the game to change this now, for this year or whatever, but we would like to see this restored by 2014 if we could get the capital program for the arterial street expansions back to its level, what it was supposed to be in 2014. That was from the 2010 to 2014 budget, which is $7.6 million. And I think that's fair. I think that's very doable. I think it's a reasonable route to go and a reasonable goal to shoot for. While development is down, I think it's a good time to try to catch up on some of that backlog and definitely not to rob the fund of any dollars that we could hopefully accumulate if development, is down. So, because we will be building homes, housing, we're optimistic it will come back, and maybe down now, but that's no news. So, let's see. Let's see here. I have lots of details of different projects that we could go into, but I don't know that it's worth using your time for all that. But basically, our main point is our budget's been cut. We would like to see it restored. We want to work together to do that. We have a great interface. I really feel like we have a great chance to talk with city officials, and we do appreciate that. So we want to work together earlier in the CIP process to get this done.
Jared, you did a very good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your leadership as well. Thank you. Yes. Councilor Brown.
That does prompt a question. I'm wondering, when we passed and leveled that second penny, at the time we were presented by Public Works a list of $81 million of street work that was backlogged. I'm wondering if before our meeting tomorrow, our budget session, if we could get that list and get an update from Public Works on where the status is of those. I'd certainly be interested in that. Is that something we can get, Mark?
Just for the people on TV, Mark Cotter from Public Works is shaking his head yes, and they'll have that ready for the council by tomorrow's meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else in the audience like to speak to the council about any topic regards the budget? Well, very good. Thank you so much. Again, Jerry, nice job. Item number 33.
A resolution supporting the candidacy of Tracy D. Turbeck for a position on the Board of Directors of the South Dakota Public Assurance Alliance.
Mr. Turbeck, would you like to come forward, please, and just explain this item to the people of Sioux Falls?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Mayor. Tracy Turbeck with the Finance Office. I currently serve on the Board of Directors for the South Dakota Public Assurance Alliance. My current term is coming to an end. Under the bylaws of the Alliance, in order for me to place my name for consideration for re-election by the membership, that requires the support of the City Council. So I'm here to grovel for your support for another 3-year term. It would be my honor to represent the City of Sioux Falls for another 3 years. And with that, I guess I would be happy to try to answer any questions the council might have.
So you will be representing Sioux Falls, not Watertown.
Did I say Watertown?
No, you didn't.
I didn't. I have slipped up on occasion.
No, Tracy, you did not. You did not. Council, any thoughts on this?
Move to approve, Brown.
Second, Entenmann.
Councilor Brown, thank you so much. Seconded by Councilor Entenmann. If there's no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. At this time, I am going to excuse myself from discussion and voting on item number 34. Council Chair Sue Aguilar will now take over as chair for this particular item. Councilor Aguilar?
Item number 34.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement between the City of Sioux Falls and Bancroft Partners, LLC.
Hey, good evening. I'm Brent O'Neill, representing the Community Development Department. If you recall, on May 16th, there were two actions this council took, both resolutions, one approving a boundary creating tax increment district number 11, which is just off of 10th Street near the former South Dakota Children's School for the Deaf. Just to the west of there is some vacant property that will be turned into apartments. The second action the council took on that evening was to adopt a plan for that district, which calls out the parameters for using tax increment funds generated by that district. Real quickly, I just wanted to remind you that the Bancroft project is going to create 52 market rate apartment units, which is something quite exciting, especially happening in the core of our city. What's before you tonight is asking for your approval on an agreement. A private developer's agreement is essentially the formal execution of the parameters of that plan and moving the project forward. This agreement will be the third and final action requested of the council. If there are questions, I'd be happy to answer any. Mike Crane, the developer and also the managing partner, of Bancroft Partners LLC is here as well, and I think either of us will be able to answer any questions.
Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak to this item? Council, any questions or comments?
Move for approval.
Second, Jamison.
There's a motion by Councilor Anderson Jr. and a second by Councilor Jamison. Any further discussion by the council? If not, roll call vote.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes. The motion passes 8-0.
Item 35.
A resolution amending the 2011-2015 capital program to increase funding for CIP number 148014, right-of-way acquisition for public works.
Mr. Connor, welcome.
Good evening again. Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. This item is tied to item 24. Item 24 appropriated the funds. This item actually amends the capital program of 2011 to 2015, increases the right-of-way funding with that $512,000 that we've been reimbursed by the state of South Dakota. I can answer any questions.
Council?
Move approval. Erpenbach?
Second, Entenmann.
Councilor Box made a motion to approve, seconded by Councilor Entenmann. No further discussion. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
That is passed 8-0. Item 36.
A resolution of the City Council designating Eide Bailey LLP to provide an independent audit of all city accounts for the years ending on December 31, 2011, 2012, and 2013.
Mayor and Council, Deborah Owen, City Council Clerk and Chief of Council Operations. An item before you is what the Council usually approves and reviews every 3 years. The Council's Audit Committee set forward an ad hoc committee to then issue RFPs and receive those responses back and to vet those candidates. Eide Bailey is the one that was selected by the ad hoc committee and unanimously, and moving forward with a 3-year contract to perform that external audit function for the council. There was a substantial cost savings of about $5,535 through the RFP issuing process, something that the council wasn't required to do, but elected to do. So thank you very much.
Great job. Council?
Move to approve, Jamison.
Second, Anderson.
Councilor Jameson's made a motion to approve item 36, seconded by Councilor Anderson Jr. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Ralphing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
That's passed 8-0. Item 37.
Report of August 29, 2011, notice of transfers of appropriations within major organizational units.
Very good. Council, are there any further comments on tonight's meeting? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
So moved, Erpenbach.
Second Aguilar.
So a motion by Councilor Erbenbach, seconded by Councilor Aguilar to adjourn tonight's meeting. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmembers Anderson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Ralphing?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Thanks for a very productive meeting tonight, Council. Great job. City of Sioux Falls, this meeting has adjourned. Make it a great, great night.